Alright guys, GG number 10 here, and today we have the steamed Warhams Autogen Tourney Round 1 recap. Just be going over all the games in this round, doing some highlights from it, and this is a sort of companion piece to the best game of the week that I'll be doing a full video on with commentary with Martin, so don't worry, they'll still be coming. And yeah, let's just get into it. So first up we have my Vampire Coast versus Martin's Vampire Counts, the Battle of the Vampires. Martin has got a decent amount of cavalry and is just going to try and do what you do against a shooting army, shut down the shooting and just take them apart. Unfortunately I didn't have a lot of hand-to-hand melee infantry to defend my shooters, so I do kind of just get charged and battered up here. If you just seen there, I had a cannon over to the side on the flank rather than having all my army all together. I just wanted that other piece to try and take some of the pressure off my main army. But essentially what's happened here is Martin just pincer maneuver, got in right into all my precious ranged attacks, and he's just taking me apart. So this game just ends up being Martin smashing me up. It got really close at one point because he let his lord get too far ahead. So as soon as I seen the lord in range, I just Control A and right clicked and had my whole army shoot at him, and I actually brought him down. As a undead faction, that usually is game. However, he did have Krell, and we know how much of a beast Krell is. He managed to just keep the vampire counts ticking over, and he managed to finish off my army, so very well played to Martin there. Okay, and next up we have Euan versus Tom. We've got the full video for that one up on the channel already, so go check it out, that's a really good vid. Euan, being the memester that he is, sent his Strigoi Ghoul King forward to have a square go, and Tom decided, oh, we'll do this honourably, and he sent his general forward as well. So they have a big fight. Doesn't go super well for the Strigoi Ghoul King, as it wouldn't, the stats are better on Throg. So he summons some ghouls and backs off, just gets out of that thing. He doesn't need to be there. Both lords do have regenerative abilities. The Strigoi Ghoul King has Invocation of the Heck to heal himself up, and as Throg is the king of trolls, he does have regen. Now once they've got to safety, the two armies decide to clash, and we just see Euan charge over his whole army. Tom holds him up with a few units of infantry in the water, a bit of a bait there possibly to get Euan to charge all his cavalry in to beat up the debuffed infantry in the water. However, we do see Tom flying down this hill with an epic charge, and he's just got Euan clumped right up in a big ball, which allows him to use his Famir Shaman to unleash all the spells and pretty much annihilate Euan's army. He also has a Terrorgeist in the background dealing with all the handgunners, so that's pretty much the only other threat getting dealt with. So Tom will come out with a win in this one. Very well played from him. It was a bit of a laugh that game, but yeah, he done what needs to be done. He'll be going through to the next round, so well done, Tom. In the next game, we will have Ninja versus Alex. Now, Alex has an elite Lizardmen army with a lot of Pterodons, Bastillodon, and 2 units of Razordons, and you can really see the difference in width of this army. The Brettonian army is just massive. Watching this game live, I just couldn't believe the amount of units that the Brettonian army had, and as we see in this aerial view, Ninja's just pincer maneuver and Alex here going right round the flanks, getting a charge wherever he wants one. He's even charged into the Razordons. I think they were trying to hide and get a good shot off, hopefully once the horses were engaged, but Ninja has just noticed them and charged right in, and he's just going to annihilate these high damage dealing units. After this, it was pretty much just a case of Ninja doing all the necessaries, finishing off the Lizardman force, and yeah, that was a real run over that game. That was brutal. So well played to Ninja there. He'll be moving on. And last up we have Laurie versus Ted. Laurie's using the Empire this time, and Ted is using Dark Elves. Now we know Laurie is a very good player. He was in the final with me in the last tournament, and he actually beat me in the semi-final. Ted has taken a very strong approach on the right hand flank, just going to try and overrun that right hand flank and break the lines and allow him to get into the back and just disrupt all the formation that Laurie has. He even gets a unit of Dark Riders, I believe, and the Manticore in to try and shut down these war machines as soon as possible. Once this initial breaking of the lines has happened, it turns into a big skirmish across the map, which the Dark Elves do seem to be winning, especially when their passive pops. That just gives them that extra little burst to really start tipping that balance. We do see a really cool fight between a Khainite assassin and the general on Griffin. The assassin doesn't achieve his goal and unfortunately flees, and I don't blame him because it would not be me fighting a Griffin, I can assure you that. So after that it'll just be Ted dismantling Laurie and just running out the game from there. So that'll be Ted moving on to the next round. So here is the round 2 bracket. Very interesting, we see the top 3 from the last tournament all in the losers bracket already. So this Autogen has really tipped things on its head. So at the top of the round here we see Martin's been given Wood Elves and he's playing against Tom's Dwarfs. Now Tom is a very good player and the Dwarfs are a tough matchup for the Wood Elves, so we're going to have to see what happens there. Following that we have Ninja with the Vampire Coast against Ted's Warriors of Chaos. Now with the Vampire Coast they do have a chance to get a lot of armor piercing missiles, so that might be handy to deal with the Chaos, who are often very heavily armoured. I think he's just going to have to do enough damage to stop him being overrun once the Chaos line reaches him. Then we have myself playing Vampire Counts against Euan's Greenskins. I'm not too fond of the Vampire Counts, but I can assure you I will be doing some practice games and trying to make the most out of them, so stay tuned to find out what happens there. Against Euan, who's always a fun person to play against, and he's got the Greenskins. Gotta assume if he sees any form of squig, he'll probably just take that in the Autogen, because he loves just playing the funnest army he can. And lastly we have Alex versus Laurie. Now Alex is using Tomb Kings, which he doesn't usually play, so he's going to have to practice a bit for this one. And Laurie using Lizardmen. Now we've just seen Alex have a really rough time against Ninja with the Lizard, so Laurie's going to have to hope he gets a pretty decent Autogen, because the Tomb Kings are strong. Thanks a lot for watching guys, the next video will be up soon for the round 2, whichever game was the funnest, that'll be getting its full video and I'll do another recap just to keep you up to date with what happened in the other games. Thanks for watching, catch you later, bye.